Here's a statistic that will blow your mind. The average American saves just 4.6% of their income while carrying over $7,000 in credit card debt. But here's what those statistics don't tell you. I've watched ordinary people break free from this trap in exactly 6 months, using a system that has nothing to do with earning more money. What I'm about to show you completely flips everything you've been told about building wealth. You don't need a 6-figure salary, you don't need to live on rice and beans, and you definitely don't need to wait decades to see results. The people who figured this out are building real wealth while their neighbors are still stuck in the paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. And the most shocking part? Most of them started with less money than you probably have right now. I'm a qualified accountant who spent 9 years in investment banking, and I've seen both sides of this equation. People making $200,000 a year who are financially broke, and people earning $45,000 who are building generational wealth. The difference isn't their income. It's a simple 6-month blueprint that I'm going to walk you through step by step in the next 10 minutes. But first, let me ask you something. When was the last time you checked your bank balance without that little knot in your stomach? If you're like most people, just thinking about looking at your finances makes you want to close this video and watch cat videos instead. That feeling has a name. It's called the ostrich effect, and it's the first thing we need to destroy. Month 1 is about facing what most people spend their entire lives avoiding. Here's what's fascinating about human psychology. We'll spend 3 hours researching the perfect Netflix show to watch, but we won't spend 3 minutes looking at where our money actually goes. Your brain is literally protecting you from information that could set you free, because change feels scarier than staying stuck. But here's where the magic happens. The moment you shine a light on your finances, something incredible shifts. That anxiety you've been carrying around in the background, it transforms into clarity. The what-if thoughts become what's next action plans. And for the first time, you're driving instead of being dragged along. You need exactly 4 numbers to take control. Your net income minus, that's what hits your bank account after taxes. Your fundamental expenses, rent, utilities, groceries, transportation, the non-negotiables. Your future fund, any money already going to savings or investments. And your freedom fund, what's left for everything that makes life enjoyable. Most people discover they're hemorrhaging money in places they didn't even know existed. Subscriptions they forgot about, dining out that somehow costs more than their grocery bill, little purchases that add up to mortgage-sized monthly expenses. But here's the thing, knowledge without judgment is power. We're not here to shame you about your coffee habit. We're here to make your money work as hard as you do. Month 2 is where most financial advice completely falls apart. They tell you to save 6 months of expenses, which sounds about as realistic as climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. But what if I told you that saving just 1 month of your fundamental expenses puts you ahead of 54% of Americans who can't even cover a $400 emergency? Here's the psychology the financial experts miss. Your brain needs quick wins to stay motivated. When you can look at your bank account and see a month's worth of safety, something fundamental shifts in how you think about money. You stop operating from fear and start operating from choice. The fastest way to build this safety net isn't cutting out everything you enjoy. It's temporarily cutting out everything that doesn't matter. Cancel subscriptions you forgot you had. Cook at home for 30 days instead of ordering delivery. Put non-essential purchases on a wish list instead of in your cart. This isn't forever. This is focused intensity for extraordinary results. But here's where month 3 gets interesting. Because this is where we separate the debt that's keeping you poor from the debt that might actually be okay. Most people treat all debt like it's created equal. But that's like saying all vegetables are the same nutritionally. Your credit card's charging you 23% interest. That's an emergency. Your student loan at 4%? That's a manageable monthly payment. Your mortgage at 3%? That's potentially an asset. We tackle the debt that's stealing your future first. Anything over 8% interest gets the full attack mode treatment. Here's the strategy that credit card companies desperately don't want you to know. List every high interest debt from highest rate to lowest rate. Then throw every available dollar at the highest rate first. Once that's gone, take everything you were paying on that debt plus your available cash flow and attack the next one. It's called the avalanche method, and it's mathematically proven to save you the most money. Simultaneously, we're building your emergency fund to 3 months of fundamental expenses. Why 3 months? Because that's the point where financial emergencies stop controlling your life. Your car breaks down? Annoying, but not devastating. You lose your job? Stressful, but not catastrophic. You have time to make good decisions instead of desperate ones. Month 4 is where the real magic happens, because this is where we flip the script from surviving to thriving. Most people think you need to choose between saving and investing, but that's like thinking you need to choose between breathing and eating. You need both. Your employer 401k match is literally free money with a 100% return. If you're not getting the full match, you're walking away from the easiest money you'll ever make. But here's where it gets exciting. We're also opening a tax-advantaged investment account. In the US, that's a Roth IRA. In other countries, you'll have similar options. These accounts let you keep more of your gains instead of sharing them with the taxman. Now, here's where most people get paralyzed by choice, but I'm gonna make this simple. Invest in broad market index funds. The S&P 500 has averaged 10.5% annually over the past century. That includes the Great Depression, multiple recessions, and every market crash you've ever heard of. You're not trying to beat the market, you're trying to capture the market's long-term growth. But here's the key insight that separates wealth builders from everyone else. You don't have to choose between emergency fund and investing. Start with a 70-30 split toward your emergency fund, then shift to 50-50. Then once your emergency fund is complete, go 100% toward wealth building. You're always moving forward, always building security and growth simultaneously. Month 5 changes everything, because this is where we focus on the one variable that has unlimited upside potential: your income. Every job should give you one of two things: a learning opportunity or an earning opportunity. Ideally, both. If you're getting neither, you're not in a job, you're in a holding pattern. The fastest way to increase your income isn't waiting for your boss to notice your hard work. The fastest way is switching jobs. Here's a data point that might surprise you. People who change jobs every few years earn significantly more over their careers than people who stay loyal to one company. But there's another path that's even more powerful. Create a side income stream. Sell a skill. Freelance your expertise. Monetize something you're already good at. Or build an online income source. Even an extra $300 a month speeds up everything we've built so far. That's an extra $3,600 a year going directly towards your wealth-building machine. But here's what most people miss about increasing income: lifestyle inflation is the killer. Every dollar of new income should go directly to your financial freedom fund until you've reached your target wealth level. Live on your base income and invest your growth income. This one strategy alone can cut your journey to financial independence in half. Month 6 is where we make this entire system bulletproof through automation. Here's why willpower fails and systems succeed. Decision fatigue is real. By the end of every day, your brain is tired of making choices. That's why the most financially successful people make their money decisions once and then never think about them again. Set up automatic transfers to your savings accounts, your investment accounts, your retirement funds. Schedule your bills on auto pay to protect your credit score. Create a separate account for your daily spending and use that for everything fun. When the money's gone, you're done spending until the next month. No complicated budgeting, no guilt, no mental energy wasted on decisions you've already made. But automation isn't just about moving money around. It's about creating a system that grows your wealth while you're sleeping. Your investments are compounding, your emergency fund is providing security, your debt is disappearing, and your income is growing. This is what financial freedom actually looks like. Not having to think about money because your systems are handling everything. Every 3 months, review and adjust. Your income probably increased, so bump up your savings rate. Your expenses might have changed, so adjust your emergency fund target. The market might have grown your investments, so maybe you can retire a few years earlier than you originally planned. Here's what most financial content gets wrong. They focus on restrictions instead of results. This isn't about depriving yourself for the next 30 years. This is about creating options. When you have 6 months of expenses saved, you can quit a job you hate. When you have investments growing, you can take risks that lead to bigger rewards. When you have systems instead of stress, you can focus on building the life you actually want, instead of just surviving the one you have. The people who implement this system don't just change their bank accounts, they change their entire relationship with money. They stop making decisions from fear and start making decisions from abundance. They stop reacting to financial emergencies and start preventing them. They stop working for money and start making money work for them. 6 months from now, you could be that person, the one who doesn't stress about checking their bank balance, the one who can handle unexpected expenses without panic, the one who's building real wealth while their friends are still complaining about being broke. The choice is yours and the roadmap is right here. If you're ready to take control of your financial future, start with month 1 tomorrow. Calculate those 4 numbers, face your financial reality, and take the first step toward the life you actually want to live. Because the best time to start building wealth was 20 years ago. The second best time is right now.